Hey everyone, it's TJ here, back with another episode with Borussia Dortmund for the Spirit of 97, where things have been going okay, but if you look down at the very bottom right, you'll see we've had a few dodgy results lately. We'll touch on that. We've also got the January transfer window to run down, where we made some real moves. And obviously we've also got the Champions League to look forward to. We're going to do two games today. I'm going to do the Sporting game in the Champions League, the home leg, the home leg of that one. And I'm going to slip the next league game in, which is against Paderborn, just because why not? Because it'll be interesting to see the implications it has on the league with the last 6 games to go. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, yeah, everyone, welcome back to the Spirit of 97, where we aim to win the Champions League with Borussia Dortmund, obviously in as few seasons as possible. If you're new to the channel, welcome. A little bit of a rundown. We actually made the Champions League final in our first season, but we lost to Inter Milan on penalties. We then got knocked out by Man United and then Barcelona in our second and third season at the quarterfinal stage, both in extra time. But we did in our second season win the domestic double league and Deutsche Pokal Cup. And then in our second season, we lost to Leipzig in the semi-final of the cup, but we did win the league on the last day of the season. It's quite an exciting episode, so you should go and check it out. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Do me a favour. Everyone who's watching, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Today, why don't we comment Sporting? Nice and easy one. So let's start with the juicy bit. Everyone loves a good transfer window breakdown. And as you'll see, if you look just to the left, no, my left, your right of my face, you will see, which way, that way? You will see that we've actually brought that balance, that net spend for the season just that little bit closer. We're now only 17 million in the regards to sort of like a positive spend. That's because we did sell quite a few players in the January for quite big money. We did make some big signings, but we did also actually manage to make some bargain signings as well. So if I remember rightly, last time I'd already told you about the selling of Bergman Johannesson and Gabriel Veron to Bayer Leverkusen and RB Leipzig respectively, roughly making around about double what we spent on them. Leipzig then also did take a Retto off us for 2.8 mil, also making quite a substantial profit on him. And you'll also see that Rafa Leao went to Spurs for 57 million in total. That basically was like, we basically broke evens on that deal. Rafa Leao was someone we brought in, hoping he was going to be a really big, good, positive inside forward for us on that left-hand side. He didn't really deliver, to be honest with you. He did okay, but nothing stellar. And you know what? To basically make our money back on him, obviously when he was already like 2 years into his deal, we were more than happy to do that. In terms of incomings, Tal Bukpo, I can't remember if we looked at him last time. He is a young Israeli defender. He's got really good attributes for his age already. He's got decent determination, decent tackling. He's not the biggest, but he's got a decent jumping reach to make up for that at centre-half, and his heading's pretty good. Already, you can see he's valued at 52 to 61 million, and we signed him for, 3.3 mil. Darwin Núñez, I think we did touch on as well. He was transfer listed for 8 mil, 8.5 mil, and I thought, you know what, our strikers aren't exactly firing on all 4 cylinders at the moment, so you know what, he's a decent option to have. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, you can look at the bottom there. In 8 games, he scored 8 goals, and that's just in the league. Really good. I think he's got 1 or 2 hat tricks. He's definitely got 1. Let's see. Let's look at his form. 2 braces and 1 hat trick. In the Freiburg game, he also got 2 assists as well. We then threw in a little bid for Dusan Vlahovic. I think we offered around about 45 mil plus a Retto at one point. I think they did want roughly about 70 mil, and a Retto was valued around about 25 to 30, so we offered that. They turned it down, so we thought, okay, you know what, let's just see what happens. 3 days later, I got a message through in my inbox. Vlahovic wants to leave Fiorentina, wants to come and join Borussia Dortmund, so I'm thinking, yes, excellent. He's unsettled. We threw in a 31.5 million bid up front with 48 mil in installments, goal scoring, where we finish in the league, basically dependent on success and things like that, appearance fees and stuff like that. So we got him for 48 mil, basically including them. And it's safe to say, as expected, as I'm sure a lot of you who have signed him, or if you haven't signed him yet, you know how good he is. You've seen people posting how good he is. He has also really, really hit the ground running for us. He's got 7 goals in the league and 2 assists. He's had 2 substitute appearances as well. He scored 4 goals in 2 games as well. He scored 4 in the league against Freiburg, 4 in the cup against Hertha. He's tapered off a little bit in the last 4 games. So we did actually criticise him, and he did say, yeah, fair enough, because his drop in form and goal scoring form coinciding with Mokoko's sort of poor form has sort of really made us stutter in the league a bit lately. We had a really impressive January. We absolutely stormed January. I'll show you the fixtures in a bit. And then in February, we kind of stumbled in a few games where we've absolutely dominated. XG's been through the roof, but we've conceded to the opposition's only shot on target, or they've had 2 shots on target and 1 of them goes in. That's happened against Hertha in the league, where we conceded in the 84th minute to something like their 2nd shot on target. We then conceded to Arminia Bielefeld in the 89th minute. Again, I think that was their 1st shot on target. And then we've just thrown away a 2-0 lead against Cologne, where they equalised with their 1st and 2nd shots on target. Actually kind of very much like Dortmund in real life at the moment, just except for the fact that maybe not necessarily dominating games, but conceding sort of poor quality goals basically. Bayern have also been stuttering, but their stuttering has coincided with our stuttering, and then they've also then sort of capitalised on us drawing with Cologne, for example, and have kind of just bumped up the league a bit. We did also draw with Leipzig and they won, so basically Bayern are now 7 points clear with 7 games to go. But like I said, they have been stuttering as well, so there's a chance that we will get the opportunity to claw that gap back. We just don't have much room for failure, really. Then we'll also look at the other signing we made. The main signing, I guess, we made is Emile Smith-Rowe. We were just looking for just some more options, and what I tend to do is I just tend to look around the top leagues and look through the teams with sort of the more higher ability squads. Emile Smith-Rowe was transfer listed for basically for 14, 15 mil. Now, attributes wise, you might look at him and say, oh, he's hardly stellar. He's only got a 3-star sort of max ability rating. But you know what? I think as a backup option, he's really good. And as you can see, in 5 appearances, 2 sub appearances, he's got 2 assists. So you know what? He's definitely someone who can do a job for us. Either cutting in off that inside wing, playing in as the number 10, which he actually is where he wants to play. It was part of his contract promise. But I'm not really playing a number 10 at the moment in either of the 2 formations I'm using particularly frequently. So I'm either just going to have to throw him in there every now and then to try and keep him happy, or offer him a new contract before the end of the season and just try and remove that promise, because he's either playing as an inside forward or as a Mazzala in the midfield. So, but he's not really put too many sort of feet wrong. Is that what you say? Too many feet wrong. And then the other signings we made, Dimitrov. He is also just another young centre half who, you know what, he looks really, really, really good. So it may seem like I've got a lot of decent centre halves, but you know what, you can never have too many because inevitably players leave. So Filip Martinek is another one we signed. We signed him from Slavia Prague. Incredible determination and stamina for 18 years of age. Really good work rate. Defensive midfield, ball-winning midfield, that probably going to be, if this save goes on for long enough, is going to be the future of our ball-winning midfield role. That number 6, he's basically just going to quarterback for us. I hope if we can buff his passing up a little bit, he will hopefully be really, really good. Leon Stoltz is just another youngster we signed, a German youngster. He had a release clause of 975,000, and I figured, for someone who's got his potential, he's got a rubbish personality, but again, I thought, for 975k, if we can iron out some of the sort of flaws in his overall sort of attributes and his overall sort of player profile, and we can get him out on loan, develop him, even if he stick him in a few first team games, in the cup or something like that, maybe in a couple of years when he's a bit better, we could probably sell him for a profit. 975k really for a club like Dortmund with the amount of money we have is a snip, really. It's first world problems, really. We're not exactly short of 1 mil, so to just throw it on him with the potential to even just make 5 times that, back, to me seemed worth it. And also signing an under-23 German player fits the club vision for transfers. So you know what, it made a lot of sense. And now, as discussed, we'll take a little cheeky look at our recent form. So as you can see, 3-0 win against Leverkusen, 3-1 against Mainz, 6-2 against Freiburg, 4-1 against Stuttgart, 6-3 in the cup against Hertha. We will play Bayern Munich in the semi-final, as you can just see at the bottom of your screen. We then lost to Hertha. That was the game I was telling you about where they literally scored in like the 84th minute. Then bounced back with a 3-2 win in the Pokal against Augsburg. Beat Frankfurt 4-0. Then drew 1-1 against Leipzig, which, you know what, wasn't it? It was away from home. It's not the worst result, but it's a game that in the past we generally would have won that. As you can see, we then beat Sporting 1-0 away from home. It was a game we absolutely dominated, and I'm surprised it was only 1-0. But you know what? We'll take it. It was away from home. It gives us a nice little platform for our home game here. Then beat Hoffenheim 1-0. Laboured to that one. The Bielefeld defeat was really frustrating. We absolutely dominated. Same in the Hertha game, the league game in Hertha. We absolutely dominated. And then as I did touch on, we threw away a 2-0 lead against Cologne just because we just didn't kill the game off, basically. So yeah, today we're going to look at the Sporting game in the Champions League, and then I'm going to do the Paderborn game just because why not? One thing you will quickly notice from our starting lineup here is, obviously, aside from the players that we've got in the team, is the sheer amount of injuries and fitness tests and stuff on the right-hand side. So we've had Nunez is injured. We've also had Demir, Sheldrup, Gavi, and Nuno Mendes also injured. It's been a bit of a key theme for our team. Now, you'll notice that the tactic does have quite a high intensity, this one. But I believe, I'm not going to change it because it's probably going to mess around with my system. The inverted wingbacks one, I believe, is a slightly lower intensity, though, as well. So, and I've been playing generally quite a high intensity formation for like the last 3 seasons, and rarely had this number of injuries during the course of a season. Don't know if it's been bad luck, but that has definitely not helped us. So yeah, this is the team. You can see we're going with the 4-3-3 today. Adeyemi playing as the pressing forward. Normally that would be Nunez, but he is injured. So we're playing Adeyemi there. It's not his natural side, but he is very adept at cutting inside onto that left foot. Mokoko up front and Vlahovic on the left-hand side. Vlahovic is a complete forward on the left-hand side. Seems to work really well because he just drives in and just smashes it in on his stronger left foot. Hopefully those two, Mokoko and Vlahovic, will play themselves back into form. We're going with Bellingham and Wirtz in midfield. Asugo is coming in for Kessie. Kimmich, De Ligt, Kimpembe and Tijani is in for the injured Mendes. Anana as per in goal. Santiago Mela did actually play for us quite a bit over January because Anana was waived for AFCON, and he actually did quite well, to be fair to me. He did do quite well. Kaiki is dropping onto the bench. He is someone who's been asking for more first team action. I gave it to him, and then he wasn't happy that he felt he should have played more. But, you know, I've got to rotate. We've got a lot of games. But generally speaking, I'm not sure if it's just sort of subconscious and I'm just interpreting it with the games we've been playing. Our defence generally does seem a little bit leakier when it's him and Kimpembe, whereas with De Ligt it seems a lot stronger, which you would expect because De Ligt is obviously the far superior player, but Kaiki's good enough, and I want to keep him happy because he's a good player. We did actually reject a bid for him on deadline day from Chelsea for 45 mil, but I only had like a few hours to try and find someone as good to replace him with, so I just kept him because he wasn't that bothered about going either, to be fair. So here we go, with a place in the quarterfinals of the Champions League at stake, and the draw is looking quite tough, to be honest with you. We will get the draw in this episode because this is the last round of fixtures in the Champions League, so the draw is in 2 days' time on the Friday. But Bayern Munich have just overturned a 1-0 defeat to PSG and won 2-0 away from home. Porto went through against Gladbach, which is obviously a draw that we would probably prefer over the likes of Bayern Munich. Excuse me. Man City are currently playing Barcelona, Man City have got a 3-1 lead at home. Liverpool went through against Marseille. They overturned the first leg defeat, believe it or not. Marseille won 2-1 at the Velodrome. I think United knocked out Juve. Monaco were playing someone, I think. And I can't remember if they went through or not. But yeah, anyway, the draw looks like it could be quite tough. There's quite a few big teams which we need to try and avoid, I think. Obviously, we're going to have to play everyone at some point. But I'd rather some of the bigger teams. Maybe I'm underestimating our ability, but I still subconsciously look at the likes of Liverpool and Man City as like the teams that are really difficult to beat. Obviously, Man United in that second season, we were really unlucky. I still maintain that we were robbed. Obviously, Ronaldo got a very, very soft, dubious penalty in injury time when we were, set to go through after a 2-1 win at home. And then, so he scored that, which equalised in front of the Old Trafford faithful. And then, obviously, we then conceded in the second, I think it was the second half or first half of extra time. And then obviously we went to Barcelona, made it 1-1 on the night in this third season, and then conceded in like the 112th minute to a low Gavi drive. Very, very frustrating so far what we've had. But you know what? That is the life of Football Manager. De Ligt makes it 2-0 on aggregate. Lovely header. And that should really be that, to be fair, shouldn't it, everyone? You would hope, anyway. Drop a bit of praise for the good start. Look at that, 7 shots to 1 for them already after 20 minutes. So that's good going. Might switch this to key highlight. I usually watch on extended. I might switch it to key just because we are going to try and do 2 games, and I don't want this episode to drag on too long for you because I know the long 1-1. Where was that marking on Gold? Where was that marking? That was shambolic. Tijani missed the interception, yes, but he's all the way over here. And what are Kimpembe and De Ligt doing? De Ligt just lets him go off him. No, I blame Kimpembe and De Ligt for that, not Tijani. That is really quite shambolic. Berate the defence for that, because that was terrible. I know Tijani's nervous, but you know what? Sort it out, man. Bellas. Ooh, skims the bar. But you know what? This has been typical of our recent form, is like not killing games off. We obviously, as you saw, inside 20 minutes, we were already dominating with chances and stuff like that. But then we let them in with some dubious defending, really. Now, can Bellingham create the counter? He drives forward. Come on, Jude. Still going, Jude. Feeds it into Moukoko. Plays it all the way back to Asugo. Vlahovic. I think he was offside. That was a great ball from Asugo, though, against his old club. But I do think he was offside. Yeah, goal disallowed. He did look very offside, didn't he? Yeah, good 2 feet offside. Look at that, 10 shots to 3. Possession split even. Moukoko having another poor game in a role, which he's excelled in over the last sort of 2 seasons. For some reason, I don't know, he just doesn't seem to be doing it. Does not seem to be doing it at the moment. He just seems to be really, really struggling. Great, and now Tijani's got a pulled groin. And he wants us to bring on an already injured, recovering Nuno Mendes. That's terrible. Asugo, thank you. Bellingham, Vlahovic, he's offside again. Right, let's take Tijani off because, honestly, if he picks up an injury, we've had it. Bellas needs to come off as well. That was offside. Why can my players not stay onside? That did look offside. It did look like he come from an offside position. I mean, it was a bullet header from Adeyemi, but he definitely looked offside. Oh, it's been given. Fair enough. I mean, great header from Adeyemi. I don't know, maybe he was just onside. Yeah, that's fine. Bring on Shelder up for Bellas. Okay, that's got to be the tie to bed now. Gavi plays it through to Vlahovic. Hits it wide. He was offside again. What is going on with him at the moment? Oh, we made all our subs, haven't we? Honestly, Vlahovic was really dipped in form. Really dipped. Man City, incidentally, last year's winners, led by Erling Haaland in the Champions League. He scored 28 goals in 13 games, which is just an insane return of goals. You know, when you think about it, Vlahovic gets on the score sheet, and hopefully that will really help him reignite his form. First goal after 4 games of not scoring. So yeah, hopefully that will really ignite his form going forward into the rest of the season. Yeah, most players will be happy to score 20 goals in a league season in over 38 games. That's a really good return for any sort of decent Premier League striker. Haaland just did it in 13 Champions League games. Unbelievable. Excuse me. But we already knew that, everyone. As you can tell from my voice, I'm still ill. I find it quite funny that Ryan Golders ended up back, and he scored again, and ended up back at Sporting. Obviously, he left Dundee to go to Sporting, didn't really do well. Went to Firenze. It was a really good free signing last year on FM21, actually really, really good. And there we go, 3-2 through. That was far more complicated than it needed to be. Makoko having a stinker. Honestly, I don't know how much more I can find this guy. Before we get up to the Champions League draw, a couple of things. Slight negative. We'll move on to the positive in a minute. Florian Wirtz, after that injury in that last game, is now out for 3 to 4 weeks, so our injury list just gets bigger and bigger. Also, there's me saying, oh yeah, with Kaiki in our team, we don't seem that solid defensively. Put De Ligt in, concede 2 goals. Whereas with Kaiki, we didn't concede at all away from home. Joshua Kimmich got 3 assists in that game. He set up all 3 goals. And in 17 starts, he's on 15 assists for us this season. Fair few of them have come from corners. Pretty much, probably about half of Kimpembe's and De Ligt's goals have come from Kimmich corners. But still, that is impressive because he's also got a fair few running down the wing. And he's set to break the record. Well, he's tied the record from Guerrero in our first season on becoming the leader for assists. And he's got so many games left to go. And like I said, he does take our set pieces. So surely he's going to smash that record. There we go with the draw. Oh yeah, so the 2 Milan teams are in the next round as well. Okay, so Milan v Man United. I would have preferred them to have played a Prem team. Bayern Munich, Liverpool. Why do I feel like this might be yours? Dortmund. Oh, that's the last draw I wanted, to be honest with you. Liverpool currently sat first in the Prem, managed by Marcelo Bielsa, because Jurgen Klopp manages Man City. So, yeah, just thought we'd take a quick look at their team. So they've still got Alisson, they've got Pavard, Kurt Zouma, okay, Virgil still, Fabinho, they've got Nico, Jamal Musiala, Mo Salah still, Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota still. Diogo Jota keeps getting linked and moves away though. They've got Alexander Isak, Harvey Elliott still, who you may remember did play on loan for us. They still got Trent. They still got Guerrero, who they bought off us. They still got Andy Robertson. That's a very good team. That is a very, very good team. Like I said, they did lose away from home to Marseille. So, they've definitely got their fragilities. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. When are we playing them? Imminently. In 2 games' time. We play Paderborn now, and then we play Augsburg, and then we've got Liverpool. And then we've got Wolfsburg, and then we've got Liverpool, and then we've got Bayern Munich twice in a row in the league at home and then in the cup. Like, our season in terms of competition success could very well be over by the 23rd of April. So if we lose to Liverpool, get knocked out of the Champions League. If we lose to Bayern Munich in the league, that basically knocks us out of the title race. And if we then lose to Bayern Munich in the semi-final of the cup, that's our season over. What a nightmare. Quandary and confuddling schedule for me, that really, really dreading that. Oh, and it just gets better, everyone. So if we get past Liverpool, which, you know what, I'm being very defeatist over, just because over the last 2-3 FMs, Liverpool have been so overpowered. But you know what, like I said, they've definitely got their fragilities. If we get past them, we don't have to play Man City or Bayern Munich. Now, Bayern Munich we have beaten before. Man City, on the other hand, I just expect them just to blow us away. Why couldn't we have got Porto or Inter or Milan or even United, who, to be fair, actually, you know what? I'm just being very defeatist, aren't I? But this is a very, very tough Champions League sort of last eight. Honestly, so tough, so tough. Milan and Inter, you might think, we did beat Milan last year in the last 16, but Milan won it in the second season, and Inter won it in the first season, won the Champions League, so, they're definitely no pushovers. So we've now got the game against Paderborn, and this is definitely a game we should be winning. As you will see, we have rotated the formation again, just because obviously last time we didn't properly look at the 4-3-3 inverted wing backs, so we're gonna play that today. Few changes. Bayerin is in for Kimmich just because, I've just got to wrap everyone in bubble wrap at the moment. Gavi is coming in just because Wirtz is now injured. We're playing Smith Rowe on the inverted winger, attack on the left, Adeyemi on the right, and we're playing Vlahovic again up front because I just need to get him back into form in time before we play Liverpool, Bayern Munich in that run of games. So here we go with what should be a relatively comfortable win against 17th place Paderborn. But then again, I have thrown away points against teams who we should have been beating previously. So let's see what happens. Gavi, Bellingham leaves it for Adeyemi, who scores on 1 minute and 8 seconds. Lovely. Love the little dummy from Bellas as well, off the Gavi pass. So Vlahovic lays it off. Gavi plays it. Bellingham leaves it. Adeyemi onto it. Bang. Goal. I actually think, Bayern are playing Wolfsburg, so they could step up there. So let me find it. I've got the table here. So Wolfsburg is 6th. Yeah, Bayern could potentially slip up there because it's the sort of season they're having. Like I said, teams are picking off points. Not sure if, as I touched on last time, is it the quality in the league has improved or what? In our in the other teams are playing better. Oh my word, 1-1. Exhibit A, or have the topper teams, the traditional sort of top 3 in Germany. I say traditional, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, you'd argue Leipzig are probably in that now at the expense of a Leverkusen or whatever. Have we dipped? I don't know, but I predict it to be quite a low scoring point season compared to the last 2 we've had, where obviously in our second season we got something 91 points or something stupid like that. Just because, everyone's dropping points basically. Leipzig just drew 0-0 at home to Freiburg on the Friday night game, which is probably a game last season they would have stormed, or even the season before anyway. So I think it's going to be quite a lowish point scoring season. Bayern Munich, as it stands, can currently only finish about 79 points if they win all of their remaining games. Bellingham, there we go. He's someone who 7th goal for the season, I still think he could do more. He does get quite a few one-on-ones, and he doesn't score very many of them. His success rate is probably about 1 in 5. Maybe a 1 in 6. Which when you think he's one-on-one with the keeper, he's got finishing about 14, 15. I do expect him to do better than he does. And I know it's 2-1, and I know we're winning, but I'm going to demand more because I do not want us to step up again. I'm going to take Bellingham off at half-time. He's absolutely pooped. Look at that. Augsburg beating Gladbach, who are currently third. Oh, no, okay, now Gladbach have equalised, but they're currently 3rd. Gladbach traditionally are, a team that, again, they would expect him to beat. Vlahovic smashes it wide. That is the sort of thing he's been doing in the last few games. Gets one-on-one. Absolutely blazes it wide. Vlahovic, honestly, he's so wasteful at the moment. In that purple patch he had when we signed him in January, those sort of chances would just go in. So, that's why he was getting 4 goals in multiple games. Sorry, everyone. Right, who can we bring Ballas off for? Esugo can go there. And you know what? I might take Vlahovic off for Vatanen. 17-year-old Vatanen, who I believe I said I was going to show a screenshot of his attributes and I forgot to last time. Just because Vlahovic is actually looking a bit tired. Smith Rowe makes it 3-1. First goal of the season for Dortmund. Lovely. Adeyemi with the assist. Proceed with the changes. Let's get those players on. Adeyemi's going to have to come off as well. He is done already. Say done already. He's played 60 minutes and he's done his job. Goal and an assist. Smith throws in, plays it to Adeyemi. Adeyemi's second goal. Oh, if I take him off, it's going to be, oh, why did you take him off when he was on a hat-trick? Let's give him a little bit longer, see if we can get him his hat-trick, and we'll take him off at about 70, 75 minutes. So look at that though. Paderborn have had 2 shots on target and they scored with 1 of them. I mean, we've had 5 shots on target and scored with 4, but you know, that's the sort of game we've been having, like, when we've been conceded. Oh gosh, there's the time. Okay, come on, you can just play there. That's the sort of season we've been having lately. Like, you know, these games where, you know, we dominate and teams literally score with like the very few chances that they have. So Bayern Munich did beat Wolfsburg just, but they did win. And as you can see, Gladbach turned it round with a 97th minute winner for Luis Sinisterra away to Augsburg. So that means that we are, with 6 games to go, we're 6 points off Bayern, level on points with Gladbach, 3 points ahead of Leipzig. That top 4 is probably going to stay unchanged. I can't see Leverkusen overcoming that gap, even with a game in hand. I'm not very optimistic of our chances of retaining the title for a 3rd season, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. We have still got to play Bayern Munich as well. So, you know, if we can win that, we can close the gap to 4 points. If it's not already closer by that time, it might be further away by that time. Who knows? Yeah, so thanks for watching, everyone. Drop your thoughts down below. You know, even if you just want to chat about the games or our prospects or areas that you think, you know, we really need to try and get things sorted with, you know, whatever. I will see you for that 2nd leg against Liverpool. You know, that is a double-edged meaning for me for that game, because those of you who don't know, I'm an Everton fan primarily, so I really want to beat them in more ways than one. So yeah, I'll see you for that one. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Take care and stay safe.